Chapter 8. Karma Mokshanam. Release of karma, release of life energy from the entanglement of worldly affairs. Oh. Master, you said that the world originated from us and that is something like smoke and dream and all that. But it is also stated that the whole world is karma bandha, tied down by karma, and salvation can be attained only by doing karma. Kindly explain to me the significance of this. If you are convinced that the world is something like a smoke that originated from you or a dream, then, where is karma and its bondage? But tell me, what have you understood by the word karma? Karma means activity or action. You can never say that karma is action or activity. There can never be any state of existence without the following three agencies. That is karta, one who does, kriya, the action, and karma, that which is done. If you don't have these three factors, can you have any conception of activity or action? No. Now tell me, what have you understood by these three expressions? Karta means one who does, karma means action, kriya means that which is done. Does, what is the significance of this? It means functioning or being in certain activity. So, does, is what? Activity. You said kriya is also activity. Thus, according to you, of the three factors viz., karta, karma and kriya, karta is the doer, karma and kriya signify activity. This cannot be correct. Let us take this example. Kanna killed a hare. What is the karta, karma and kriya in this? Kanna is karta, hare is karma, killed is kriya. So you see that the karma here is not activity as is commonly understood, that and the example above given it cannot be any other way also. Yes, that is so. Thus, does the word karma means activity or action? No. Then what does it mean? It means a thing. The world without understanding the real significance of the word karma has misunderstood it to mean action. It is not action. Without the existence of a thing there is no action. In whatever manner we look at this word, it can never mean action. We make use of sentences where all the three karta, karma and kriya are expressed. Sometimes the karta and kriya will only be expressed and the karma will be silent or understood. Sometimes karma and kriya will only be expressed and karta will be understood. If you deeply consider all these, karma would always be found to mean only a thing. Take for example the sentence, Krishna ate. Here what are the concepts that are expressed? Karta and kriya. Which is karta and which is kriya? Krishna is karta and ate is kriya. What was the reason for you to call ate kriya? Because it is action. You said according to popular notion that karma is action. Now you say karma is a thing. But in the sentence Krishna ate, is the karma expressed? No. It is not expressed. It is silent. Now we shall make it explicit by putting the question, Krishna ate what? The answer will be, Krishna ate a fruit. Here what is the karma? Here the karma is, fruit. Does the word fruit indicate a thing or action? A thing. So in this instance also it is clear that karma is a thing. Now take another instance. I gave you a mango. Then I asked for the return of that mango. In reply you say, ate the mango. In this what are the concepts expressed? There is the karma and kriya. What is the karma and what is the kriya? Mango is karma, ate is kriya. Even in this it is clear that karma is a thing. Like this, in whatever manner we may look at this word, it will be found that it is used only to indicate a thing and not action. That is why it is stated that karma is an essential and inevitable thing. Now we have to find out what this inevitable thing is. Can you guess what this thing could be? Yes. Whatever we see around us. T. True. All these are things, but if you are not here, could you have seen these things? Dis. No. T. Why not? Dis. Because there was no I to see all these. T. If this I were here, could you have seen these things? Dis. Yes. T. You say, I was sleeping. Did you see these things then? Dis. No. T. Why did you not see then? Weren't you not there to see? Dis. At that time, even though I was there, my energy was merged within me. So I did not see. T. What is this energy? Did a corpse have this energy? Dis. The energy is my life energy. Since a corpse does not have life, there was no energy in it. T. What is that life energy? Dis. Vayu. Air. T. Could you have known anything, if your Jiva, the life essence, has not come outside in the form of air, the breath? Dis. No. T. All these things that we see are the expressions of Sakti, energy of Jiva, the living factor. So, that which is responsible for these things is the Vayu, air, the Jiva Sakti, energy of life. This Vayu is the most essential and inevitable thing. If there is no Vayu, there can be nothing. The world is tied up with this Vayu is karma. That is why it is said that the world is karma bandha, tied down by karma. We must perform karma. Then only we get liberation. This karma, the Vayu, is tied down by various desires. This karma, when liberated from these various desires, merges with the self. Then we attain liberation or moksha. We must necessarily perform karma. In other words, we must regulate the flow of Vayu in us and conserve all the energy within us with the help of Vayu itself. I shall tell you how this world is bound up by karma through an example. Listen, a spider weaves its web. The web is intended as a habitation for it and also as a contrivance to catch its prey. This web is woven by a fine thread. Where does this thread come from? Is it got from anywhere outside? Dis. No. T. Where does it come from? Dis. From within itself. T. Quite right. This thread is a discharge of energy that was within the spider. That Sakti is one kind of glue. That glue, the Sakti, is drawn into a fine thread. With the aid of this thread, the spider weaves a web which is a world of its own and sits in a corner there. If any insect get into this web, it pounces and prey upon it. But it unties and takes in the world. Thus it again takes out the thread and ties the world. Thus it gives on tying and untying its web in the course of its existence, and in this processes, the thread snaps at the place from where it was drawn. Consequently it falls down and meets with its doom in the very world of its own creation. If only the thread would have broken at a distance, the spider would have clung to the broken end and repaired the web. But since the thread snapped at its very start, it fell down and met its doom. If the spider had not discharged its Sakti in the form of the glue woven into the thread, it would never have met its doom. It met with its doom as it did not retain its Sakti inside but released outside. In the same manner, what is called karma to us is the thread which is the Vayu. By leaving out the thread which is our Vayu, the Jiva Sakti, we bound the world. In that we become blind of desires, became ignorant of ourselves, consider as, I am a man of status, I am a man of fame, I am a wealthy man, I am a man of culture, I am a man of letters, others are good for nothing, they are inferior, and so on, and be with raga dvesha. But as above said, just like the spider mentioned above, we ourselves untie the world that we tied up, make it to merge within us, and do keep quiet also. That moment is the state that you call as sleep. At that time have we the world? Dis. No. T. Why is it so? Dis. Because our Sakti was concentrated within ourselves and was not allowed to spread out. T. When did you begin to see the world? Dis. When my Sakti began to flow out from within me. T. As already stated, just as the spider would weave and undo its own web made out of its own energy, We also weave and undo the world around us with the aid of our own karmic thread of Vayu, which is the excrescence of our own energy. In the end, just as the spider would snap its thread once for all from its bosom from where it was drawn, we the so-called human beings also snap our breath, the karmic thread from the Brahmadya from where it came out. That is why people say that when a man dies, his karma is cut off. It is with the karma or Vayu that the whole world is bound, and that is why the world is said to be karma bandha or tied down by karma. Now, you tell me, what would people say when a man dies? They say his karma is cut off. When a person sleeps, do we say that his karma is cut off? No. What is the reason for us to say that when we die our karma is cut off, and that is not so cut off when we sleep? In the case of a dead person there is no flow of Vayu either inward or outward. In the case of a sleeping person the Vayu is having a steady flow inward. It is also said that no being can get on without air even for a second. If karma is action or activity, when we are sleeping are we doing anything? Yes. What? Performing the function of sleep. How can that be? When you sleep, do you have the feeling that you are so sleeping? No. Why not? Because the mind was centered inside. So from where does all thoughts and other activities originate? From the mind. Without this mind can you hear anything, do anything or know about anything? No. When you are said to be asleep was there any activity? No. If karma is action should you not be aware of it then? There was karma. But since it was not in action we were not aware of it. It is said on good authority that without karma you cannot survive even for a single second. Even when we are asleep there is karma. Therefore, karma is not action but only the life-giving Vayu. This Vayu is the Jiva Sakti, energy of life. The world is created by a projection of this energy and the same is also sustained by it. Thus this world is said to be bound by karma. When we die this karma is cut off. The liberation lies in resurrecting this dying karmic energy from the bondage of this world and make it flow inward and ascend high up to its original source, the Brahmarandhra, and get it merged there. This is known as karma yoga. Karma means Vayu and yoga means union. Karma yoga means union of Vayu with its Brahmarandhra. Instead of this, people waste away their energy in various rituals, ceremonies, prayers, vows, and ruin themselves in utter ignorance. In order to get enlightenment, you must proceed on the lines indicated above. If you proceed like that verily you will be only doing the karma yoga.